Welcome back, everyone, to day 2 of the Ag Innovation Showcase. Yesterday, we had an extremely exciting program, really kind of kicked off the theme that Rohit developed around regeneration and recovery, today we're going to have a different theme. Yesterday, we had a great conversations, really led by Jack Bobo. It was great to have from the USDA, both Shavonda Jacobs-Young, as well as the Deputy Secretary, Brana here, and really gave great opening remarks to kind of set the stage. Later then, we had a deeper dive that was largely led by Adrian Percy. Some good conversations about suffering soil, plant pandemic, animal ag, looking at supply chains and indoor agriculture. Those conversations really kind of led the stage for how innovation is going to be impactful to improving agriculture in the future. And then we saw many examples of solutions already solving those problems with a panel later in the day of companies that are scaling up. And really then that leads us up to the theme of recovery and regeneration, today's theme of reimagining. Rohit?
Yeah, well, thank you again, everybody, for joining us yesterday. I just wanted to be able to also thank our panelists from yesterday who provided really succinct, remarkable comments and insights into the various areas that we touched on as part of the notion of recovery and regeneration, starting with Jack Bobo, Dr. Eric Schulze, Krista Harden, Shavonda, obviously Shavonda Jacobs-Young, and then Teresa, and then Deputy Secretary Brona, but also then the panel that Adrian, as Paul was saying, Adrian moderated so expertly, and then the wonderful Ag Showcase alum who've effectively scaled up, some of whom you'll hear from today as well. We're also going to be seeing Jack Bobo a little later today, a little later this morning, talking in conversation with a really remarkable group of people as well. And we'll get to that in a minute. But in any case, I just want to make sure that you know the theme today is reimagining. We're going into a future that is pregnant with possibilities and riddled with challenges. And we're trying to figure out, as a community, as a planet, how we effectively embrace the opportunities available to us and create new ways of doing so. So there'll be a tremendous amount of interesting discussion, concluding with, in fact, the funding and financing issues that we'll see later on this afternoon. So thank you, Paul.
So lastly, I just want to make sure everybody's getting a vibrant experience using the EventMobi app. 3 things I want to make sure everybody's using. Ask questions. There's a Q&A tab for all the speakers. We're going to be moderating Q&A from here, but please submit questions because we want to make sure we're asking the right topics and the right ideas of the speakers that we're hosting. Upvote the questions. So if you see questions that are asked by others that you think are really interesting, upvote those to make sure those rise to the top of what gets asked. Don't post questions in the chat bar. Please use the chat to express interest in what a speaker may have just said. Do look at the chat. There may be behind the scenes organizers that are posting information available to maximize your experience. And feel free to communicate with the other attendees in the program. Use the messaging system within the EventMobi app. You can look at attendees, and from there you can be able to send them a message. But please make this a vibrant experience for everyone involved. And with that, we're going to begin today's session. We're going to invite Carlos Gutierrez from Larta, who's going to invite our first video.
Morning, everyone. Thank you, Paul. So as Rohit mentioned yesterday, and Paul also discussed, sponsors are really making this event possible. And so this morning, I wanted to introduce a video from one of our longtime sponsors from the Ag Showcase, Corteva, our friends at Corteva, Matt Mueller, Kathy Monkbold, Siquin Wang, and then, of course, from this video, Jillian. So I think you'll really enjoy this. Take it away.
Oh my goodness, I love food. I love gathering around food. I love cooking food. I think it's really important socially. It's not just energy, right? It has more meaning than that. Yeah. I work at the Global Business Center in Johnston, Iowa. I'm just one of 20,000 global Corteva employees. We're all here to try to have a positive impact on agriculture and the food system. We work with colleagues all across the business to come up with solutions to problems that our growers are facing. Asian soybean rust is really devastating to farmers in Brazil. You can have up to 90% yield loss. We're all trying to come up with multiple lines of defense against the pathogen. We want to provide products that can still be high yielding in those situations. There are so many experts here. I actually have a list. We have biologists, molecular biologists, protein biologists, agronomists, statisticians, we have crop growth modelers, computer programmers, pathologists and entomologists, and tissue culture specialists. I could go on and on. The cool thing about working in agriculture is that it's one of the oldest industries that exists. Farmers have had to adopt and innovate throughout time. And I actually think that the technology that I work on is helping us produce more on less land. We're 7 times more productive today than we were 90 years ago. That's incredible. 1 bushel difference per acre is enormous to a farmer's bottom line. Farmers don't rest, so neither should we. You love coming to work every day to just move the needle a little bit further forward.
Well, that's a great video. Thank you, Corteva, for submitting that. Another announcement I just want to make for another one of our sponsors this year is AgBiome. There was a fun feature in the Event Mobi app where there's an alert that came through that they were successful in raising $116 million. So congratulations to AgBiome. And it'd be kind of fun to see additional alerts coming through the Event Mobi app.